Welcome, the spicy lady. Strength is not about controlling someone. It is about being secure enough to stand beside someone who cannot be controlled. Most people think a strong relationship is built when one person leads and the other follows. But everything changes when a spicy lady Sigma enters the picture. She is not difficult to understand because she is complicated. She is difficult to understand because she refuses to live according to expectations that never felt right to her. She values her space, thinks for herself, and makes decisions based on what she truly believes, rather than what others expect. That sounds admirable, but it creates a challenge many people never anticipate. Not every man is comfortable with a woman who is completely capable of building a meaningful life on her own. The man who can truly be with a spicy lady Sigma is not defined by status, charm, or appearance. His strength shows up in quieter ways. He remains steady when things are uncertain. He respects individuality without feeling disconnected. He understands that trust grows through consistency, not pressure. In this video, we will explore the 10 rare qualities that separate ordinary attraction from genuine compatibility. These insights reveal why some relationships with spicy lady Sigma thrive, while others slowly fall apart. Stay with us until the end because the final point may completely change the way you think about strength, love, and what it really takes to build a lasting connection with a spicy lady Sigma. Now, let's begin. Number 1, he doesn't need to be the most important person in her life. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is believing love means becoming the center of someone else's universe. They want to be involved in every decision, every plan, every thought, and every moment. At first, it may seem romantic, but over time it can become exhausting. The man who is truly strong enough to be with a spicy lady Sigma sees things differently. He understands that before he arrived, she already had a life she cared about. She had goals, routines, interests, responsibilities, and dreams she was building. Meeting him does not erase those things. In fact, he respects them. Think about it for a moment. If you meet someone because you admire their ambition, intelligence, and independence, why would you expect them to abandon those qualities once the relationship begins? Many people unintentionally fall into a trap. They start asking questions like, why are you always busy? Or why do you spend so much time on your own projects? What they are really saying is, why am I not the center of your attention? A spicy lady Sigma notices this immediately. The right man never feels threatened when she spends time working towards something meaningful. He knows her commitment to her purpose is part of what makes her attractive in the first place. Imagine a woman spending months building a business, learning a new skill, or pursuing a personal goal. An insecure man may see competition. A secure man sees dedication. He encourages her growth because he understands something many people never learn. A healthy relationship is not two people shrinking their worlds to fit each other. It is two people bringing their worlds together while still remaining true to themselves. That is why the strongest man is not the one who demands to be her entire life. He is the one confident enough to become an important part of it without asking her to give up the rest. Number 2, he can handle being unnecessary. This is the point where many men quietly struggle even if they never admit it. Most people like feeling needed. It gives them a sense of importance. They enjoy being the problem solver, the rescuer, the person someone cannot function without. For some, being needed feels like proof that they matter. But a spicy lady Sigma often challenges that idea. She usually knows how to solve her own problems. If something breaks, she figures it out. If life gets difficult, she adapts. If she faces a setback, she finds a way forward. She is not waiting for someone to save her because she learned long ago how to stand on her own feet. First. This can be confusing for some men. They offer help and she appreciates it, but she does not depend on it. They give advice and she listens, but she still thinks for herself. They step in to fix a situation only to discover she was already handling it. That is where insecurity begins to reveal itself. Some men start wondering, if she does not need me, then what is my place in her life? The answer is simple, but it is also powerful. She may not need him, but she chooses him. And there is a huge difference between those two things. Think about a person who stays with you because they have no other option. Now, think about someone who could walk their own path, build their own future, and handle their own challenges, yet still chooses to share their life with you. Which connection is more meaningful? The strongest man understands that being chosen is far more valuable than being needed. He knows that real love is not built on dependence. It is built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine desire to be together. A spicy Lady Sigma is not looking for a savior. She is looking for a partner. And the man strong enough for her never measures his worth by how much she relies on him. He measures it by the fact that out of all the paths available to her, she willingly walks beside him. Number 3. He has a life bigger than the relationship. One of the fastest ways to weaken a relationship is to make it the only thing that gives your life meaning. Many people start a relationship and slowly let everything else fade into the background. Their goals become less important. Their hobbies disappear. Their personal growth slows down. Before long, their entire world revolves around one person. At first, it can look like devotion. But over time, it often turns into something else. When a person has nothing meaningful outside the relationship, they begin expecting the relationship to provide everything. They want it to be their purpose, entertainment, motivation, and source of fulfillment all at once. That is a heavy burden for anyone to carry. The man strong enough to be with a spicy Lady Sigma understands this. He has ambitions that challenge him. He has standards that guide him. He has interests that keep his mind active and goals that keep him moving forward. His life has direction whether he is in a relationship or not. This is one of the reasons a spicy Lady Sigma respects him. She knows what it feels like to be driven by something larger than comfort. She understands the satisfaction of working toward a goal that matters. When she meets a man who also has a sense of purpose, there is a natural understanding between them. Imagine a man who is learning new skills, building a business, improving his health, or pursuing a long-term dream. He is not doing these things to impress anyone. He is doing them because growth has become part of who he is. That kind of man brings energy into a relationship instead of constantly taking from it. The truth is, two incomplete people often spend their time trying to fill each other's emptiness. But two complete people create something very different. They encourage each other. They challenge each other. They celebrate each other's progress. The strongest bond is not built when two people become each other's entire world. It is built when two people with meaningful lives choose to walk the same road together, while continuing to grow as individuals. Number 4, he doesn't compete with her. One of the clear signs of strength is something many people completely overlook. It is the ability to celebrate someone else's success without feeling threatened by it. This sounds simple, but in reality, it is surprisingly rare. Many relationships quietly turn into competitions. One person gets a promotion, and the other suddenly feels insecure. One person receives praise, and instead of feeling proud, the other feels overlooked. What should be a partnership slowly becomes a scoreboard. A spicy Lady Sigma notices this immediately. She is often ambitious, capable, and willing to put in the work to achieve her goals. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable, and she does not pretend to know less, or do less just to protect someone's ego. The wrong man sees her achievements and feels challenged. The right man sees her achievements and feels inspired. There is a huge difference. Imagine she starts a successful business, earns a major promotion, or becomes highly respected in her field. An insecure man may begin looking for ways to prove he is still superior. He may interrupt her victories with stories about his own accomplishments. He may quietly turn every conversation into a contest, but a strong man has no interest in playing that game. Why? Because he understands something that many people never learn. When your partner succeeds, you succeed, too. Her growth is not his loss. Her achievement is not his failure. Her strengths do not reduce his value. A man who truly belongs with a spicy Lady Sigma does not spend his energy trying to prove who is smarter, more talented, more successful, or more capable. He is too busy building something meaningful with her. Think of a rowing team. If one person rows against the other, the boat goes nowhere. Progress only happens when both people move in the same direction. That is exactly how healthy relationships work. The strongest man is not trying to stand above her. He is standing beside her. And while others are busy competing with their partners, he is busy creating a life where both people can win together. Number 5, he understands that real intimacy requires freedom. One of the biggest misunderstandings about love is the belief that the closer two people become, the less freedom they should have. Many people think love means constant access. They want to know where their partner is at all times, who they are talking to, what they are thinking, and what they are planning. They believe that the tighter they hold on, the safer the relationship becomes. But life has a funny way of proving the opposite. The harder people try to control a relationship, the more fragile it often becomes. A spicy lady Sigma understands this deeply. She values connection, but she also values freedom. Not because she wants distance, but because she knows that people grow best when they have room to breathe, think, and remain true to themselves. The man strong enough to be with her understands this as well. He does not see freedom as a threat to the relationship. He sees it as one of the reasons the relationship stays healthy. Think about a simple example. Imagine two people who genuinely enjoy spending time together. One day, one of them decides to spend a few hours alone reading, working on a project, or visiting friends. An insecure person may immediately wonder if something is wrong. They may see independence as rejection. A secure person sees it differently. They understand that needing occasional space does not weaken a connection. In many cases, it strengthens it. After all, what makes a relationship meaningful is not that two people are forced to stay close. It is that they continue choosing each other day after day. That choice matters. Anyone can remain in a situation because they feel trapped, obligated, or afraid. There is nothing powerful about that. What is powerful is when two people have the freedom to be themselves and still decide that life is better together. That is why the strongest man does not try to possess a spicy lady Sigma. He understands a truth many never learn. The deepest connections are not built through control. They are built through trust. And trust gives people a reason to stay long after control would have pushed them away. Number 6. He possesses one rare quality above all others. If there is one quality that separates the right man from everyone else, it is this. He is not trying to conquer her. That may sound obvious, but look closely at how many relationships begin. Some people treat love like a competition. They want to win someone's attention, gain the upper hand, or prove they can make the other person change. They approach relationships almost like a challenge to be completed. A spicy lady Sigma sees through this very quickly. She is not a trophy to be earned. She is not a project waiting to be fixed. She is not a puzzle that exists for someone else's entertainment. And the man strong enough for her understands that he knows that every person carries a unique story. Behind her confidence are experiences that shaped her. Behind her boundaries are lessons she learned. Behind her choices are values she spent years developing. Instead of trying to reshape her into his ideal version, he takes the time to understand who she already is. Think about how often people enter relationships with a hidden agenda. They may not say it out loud, but they quietly hope the other person will change. They hope certain habits disappear. They hope certain opinions soften. They hope the person eventually becomes someone different. The problem is simple. You cannot genuinely respect someone while constantly trying to redesign them. The strongest man understands that love grows where respect exists. Imagine planting a tree. You do not help it grow by pulling on its branches every day. You help it grow by giving it the right environment. The same is true for people. A spicy lady Sigma opens up when she feels understood, not managed. She trusts when she feels respected, not directed. She connects when she feels accepted, not controlled. And this is where many people miss the deepest truth of all. Her heart is not a territory to occupy. It is a world to respect. The moment a man stops trying to control every outcome, prove his dominance, or shape her into someone else, something remarkable happens. She no longer feels the need to protect herself from him. She feels safe enough to let him see who she truly is. And that kind of trust is far rarer than attraction. It is the foundation of a connection that can last for years. Number 7, he can survive her honesty. One of the most misunderstood things about a strong woman is not her independence or her confidence, but her honesty. A spicy lady Sigma often does not have the patience for masks, excuses, or half-truths. She pays attention to patterns, not promises. She listens carefully to what people say, but she also watches what they repeatedly do. And when something does not match, she notices it quickly. This kind of clarity can make some people uncomfortable because not everyone is ready to be seen without filters. Some men react defensively when they are questioned or corrected. They feel attacked when someone points out a weakness or highlights a mistake. Instead of thinking about what was said, they focus on how it was said. And in that moment, growth becomes difficult. The man strong enough for a spicy Lady Sigma responds differently. He does not treat honesty as disrespect. He treats it as information. For example, if she says, "This is where you are going wrong," he does not immediately shut down or argue just to protect his ego. He pauses and asks himself a simple question. Is there truth in this? Even if it stings a little, he does not run from it. Instead, he learns from it. This is where real strength shows up. Not in pretending to be perfect, but in being willing to improve. A spicy Lady Sigma is not trying to break a man with her honesty. She is simply not interested in pretending things are fine when they are not. She values growth more than comfort. And she respects a man who can sit with truth, even when it challenges him. Think of it like a mirror. A mirror does not insult you when it shows your reflection. It simply reveals what is already there. The question is not whether you like the reflection. The question is whether you are willing to adjust it. The right man does not walk away from that mirror. He uses it. He understands that honesty is not the enemy of connection. Avoidance is. And instead of being shaken by truth, he becomes stronger because of it. Number 8, he doesn't need to win every argument. One of the clearest signs of emotional maturity is not how loudly someone speaks in a disagreement, but what they are trying to achieve during it. Some people enter conversations like it is a contest. They listen only to respond, not to understand. Their focus is not on solving the issue, but on proving they are right. Even small discussions can turn into a struggle for control where every sentence becomes something to defend or attack. Over time, this weakens connection. Because when every conversation becomes a battle, nobody feels safe to speak honestly. A spicy Lady Sigma does not respond well to this kind of dynamic. She is thoughtful, direct, and observant. She does not argue for attention. She speaks when something matters. And when she speaks, she expects the conversation to go beyond ego and reach understanding. The man strong enough for her does not turn disagreements into wars. He does not feel the need to dominate every discussion or silence every opposing view. His confidence is not tied to always being right. Instead, it is rooted in his ability to stay calm when things are not perfectly aligned. For example, imagine a situation where they see things differently. Instead of trying to force agreement, he listens fully first. He considers her perspective, even if it challenges his own. And if he realizes he is wrong, he does not struggle to admit it. Not because he is weak, but because he values peace over pride. This changes everything in a relationship. Arguments stop being about winning and losing. They become about learning and adjusting. Both people feel heard. Both people feel respected. And over time, trust grows because neither person feels like they have to defend themselves constantly. A fragile ego demands victory. A strong mind seeks clarity, and clarity is what keeps a relationship healthy when emotions are high and opinions differ. The strongest man understands something simple but powerful. If you win every argument but lose the connection, you have not really won anything at all. So, instead of fighting to be right, he chooses to be understanding. And in that choice, the relationship becomes stronger, calmer, and far more real. Number 9, he respects her boundaries without feeling punished. One of the most important signs of emotional maturity in a man is how he reacts when someone sets a boundary with him. Many people misunderstand boundaries. They hear a simple statement like, "I need some time alone," or "I am not comfortable with that," and immediately take it personally. They feel rejected, excluded, or even punished. Instead of seeing it as healthy communication, they see it as distance being created. That reaction slowly damages relationships. The spicy Lady Sigma is usually clear about her boundaries. She knows when she needs space to think, when she needs silence to reset, and when something does not align with her values. She does not set boundaries to hurt anyone. She sets them to maintain emotional balance and protect her sense of self. The man strong enough for her understands this without confusion. He does not turn her boundaries into a personal offense. He does not assume that space means disinterest or that honesty means rejection. Instead, he sees boundaries for what they truly are, clear signals that help both people stay healthy within the relationship. For example, if she says she needs a day to herself, an insecure response would be to question her love or demand constant reassurance. But a mature response is to trust her words and give her that space without pressure. What often surprises people is that boundaries do not weaken connection. They strengthen it. Because without boundaries, small frustrations build up silently. People begin to feel overwhelmed, misunderstood, or emotionally drained. Over time, this leads to resentment that was never openly discussed. But when boundaries are respected, something different happens. There is clarity. There is breathing room. There is honesty without fear. A spicy Lady Sigma does not feel closer to someone who ignores her boundaries. She feels safer with someone who respects them. And the man who truly understands this does not view boundaries as rejection. He views them as protection for the relationship itself. Because what is protected is more likely to last. And what is respected is more likely to grow. Number 10, he can handle her evolution. One thing many people struggle with in relationships is the idea that people are supposed to stay the same. They meet someone, fall in love with a version of them, and quietly expect that version to remain unchanged. The same interests, the same mindset, the same emotional responses, the same dreams. But real life does not work like that. People grow, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, but always in some direction. A spicy Lady Sigma is especially known for this kind of inner movement. She questions her own thinking, reflects deeply on her choices, and is not afraid to outgrow versions of herself that no longer feel aligned. What mattered to her last year may not matter the same way today. What she tolerated before may no longer sit right with her now. To some people, this feels unsettling. They begin to wonder if they are losing her. They feel confused when she changes her priorities or starts seeing the world differently. Instead of adjusting with her growth, they try to hold on to the older version they were comfortable with. But the man strong enough for her sees something different. He does not treat her growth like instability. He sees it as life unfolding. For example, she might once have enjoyed spending all her time in social spaces, but later become more focused on solitude, learning, or building something meaningful. A man who fears change may take this personally. He may think something is wrong with the relationship. But a grounded man understands that her evolution is not a rejection of him. It is a reflection of her becoming more herself. He does not fall in love with a fixed image. He connects with a real person who continues to develop. This requires a different kind of confidence, not the need to control how someone remains, but the ability to stay present while they change, because the truth is simple. If you only love someone when they stay the same, you are not loving them fully. You are loving a moment in their life. The strongest man does not fear becoming unfamiliar with her. He is willing to rediscover her again and again. And in that willingness, the relationship stays alive, not frozen in time, but growing with it. Final words, real strength is not shown in control, but in calm understanding. At the end of everything, the idea of being the only man strong enough for a spicy Lady Sigma is not about dominance, status, or proving anything. It is about character. It is about how a man behaves when he is no longer trying to manage, fix, or shape another person to fit his comfort. A spicy Lady Sigma does not live a simple or predictable life pattern. She thinks deeply, moves independently, and often grows in directions others do not expect. To be with her is not about keeping up appearances. It is about understanding her nature without trying to limit it. The man who stands well beside her is not reacting out of insecurity or fear. He is steady. He listens more than he assumes. He allows space where others try to take control. He does not turn love into pressure or connection into control. What makes this kind of bond rare is not intensity, but maturity. Two people who do not compete for identity, who do not demand ownership, and who do not shrink each other to feel secure. Instead, they meet as individuals who choose to walk alongside each other. If you watched until the end, the message is simple. Strength in this context is not about being above her or ahead of her. It is about being grounded enough to stand beside someone who cannot be controlled, only understood. And that is where real connection begins. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Nail polish, I'll see you in the next one.